Okay, so we have part 284C3m1b7c8e13c9c1b. You want to watch 1A first, okay? Because this is the second part of that. Line 22f1fa19c3m1b7c8e13c9c1b. If you want to watch 1A, just change this B to an A when you Google, if you Google it, or if you go to the YouTube, the Idea Girl says YouTube channel, it'll bring it up for you, hopefully. Sometimes I find their search engines don't work so great. But I will be blogging on these videos in the future, so you'll be able to find them sooner or later. So rotating prism, Fluorosolar, Luxim, formula, UFO, 5G, Wow Seti. Also, the videos are all linked together on the YouTube channel as well. So if you go to the YouTube channel and look for the video response, it'll be linked to this video as well. So there's the alien radio signal, and I'm talking too much. Okay, so this one's a continuation of the UFO engine crystal inventions. It shows the power and formula ideas from an alien radio signal called WOW. So January 4th, 2013. The keywords are from a previous video, line 22f1fa19c3m1b7c8e13cb, 9b, sorry, dielectric capacitor crystals core UFO 5G Wow Seti, and also from line 22f1fa19c3m1b7c8e13c9c1a, dielectric, graphite, ionic, polarization UFO 5G Wow Seti. I actually should have put the word formula in there, but I couldn't fit it. The last video has a formula in it. Quote from blog: the scanning photometer used a 360-degree rotating prism. So the keyword here is rotating prism, because we're looking at crystals and what can we do with these crystals. So mounted on an arrow brake to scan from zenith to nadir. This light passed through an inner ring of 4 color filters on a rotating filter wheel: green, red, IR1, IR2. Now that's interesting because we want visible light to go through the crystals and create a refraction or diffraction, I forget what the term is. You know, where it shoots this way and it goes off like into a rainbow of colors. You want to do that inside the core. So this is some sort of filter wheel. I don't know if we're going to use this or not, but you never know. VPM 73 photometer polarimeter. It came up, so it's got something to do with something. So there's to the sky. It goes a rotating prism. There's the filter wheel, and then a CDS photoresistor. This is Venera 11 spectrometer. So we're going to be using some sort of spectrometer. There is a spectrometer device that is used not only for the power of the engine, but also for the the deep space communication signal that can go from Kepler, the Kepler solar system right to the Milky Way solar system in record time. It won't take millions of years. It's actually done exactly like our radio transmissions. Okay, it'll be just as quick as that. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but you know what? I think it's going to work because you guys have the technology, and we're putting it together by doing this WOW signal thing. So Venera 9 and 10 contained an improved model, the IOV75, which used 3 fiber-optic pipes to view upward, narrow and wide angles, and downward. A wheel of 5 glass filters provided color and radiance measurements at wavelengths between 440 and 1160 nm. Green, yellow, red, IR1, IR2. It was correctly assumed that blue light would be extinguished by Rayleigh scattering. Blue light came up in blue Doppler light, was used in one of the formulas. This instrument, along with Marov's nephelometers, revealed for the first time that the Venusian clouds consist of 3 layers. Okay, so I found that at www.mentallandscape.com. That's a quote from a blog, and I put it up there. Okay. So the keyword fiber optic nanolattice pipes. That's what I came from that data. I put those words together. I wanted to see if anything was out there. This is really cool. I found something. Quotes, diagrams from blogs. Check this thing out. This is actually going to be part of the UFO spaceship. It's going to be actually in the design. This is going to be one of the things that's going to go in the design of the spaceship, okay? The research and manufacturing giant 3M has patented, so it's a brand new patent, a way to pipe daylight, and Fluorosolar has found a way to take advantage of ambient UV light. Okay? So we're using X-rays, we're using microwaves, and now we've got UV light it's going to go into this mixture with this thing here. 3M light pipe starts with a solar collector called a heliostat. This is essentially a small dome structure which lets light inside but won't release it. So that's something you want to use in the spaceship as well. It helps to create daylight in the spaceship. The heliostat is aimed at direct sunlight throughout the day, which you're going to be traveling close by the sun on front and back of the ship, so you'll have this thing will have to be able to rotate so that it can go to the front and the back of the ship, or be directed in that direction, or maybe the design should have it so that it's on either end, all four tips of the core, on the north, south, east, west, and a little thing there, and there, and then that way it can gather this sunlight energy from the sun while it's traveling through space. From the heliostat, it is transmitted through a tube with a highly reflective lining. As for the reflective lining, there are formulas for this. Back in lines 1 to 16, I kept getting these reflective lining things like brand new technology that has just been developed, and I didn't know what it was for, so obviously it's going to be for this little contraption here. These light pipes go from the roof or any place with high sun exposure to the area to be lit up. At the end of the pipe is a diffuser, and from the diffuser comes natural electricity-free sunlight. During the day, this system provides free light. At night, artificial light can be introduced into the pipe, or other high-efficiency sources could be used. Fluorosolar takes a different approach. Instead of trying to capture, why don't they make it so they capture moonlight too, so they can make moonlight for nights and sunlight for the days? Can we do that? That'd be funny. Have our moonlight. Get it? Ah, moonlight. No, never mind. Okay, Fluorosolar takes a different approach. Instead of trying to capture the full spectrum light that we can see, Fluorosolar uses a flat panel to capture UV rays that are present even on cloudy days. This UV light is then sorted into red and green light before being piped to the interior of a building, what is combined with artificial blue light. So that would be your blue Doppler, blue shift Doppler light. Mix it with that. Red, green, and blue together form the basis of what we call useful light. There's an X-ray spectra section, I think it's lines 17 and 18, that talks about red, green, and blue lights. So obviously those formulas are going to be mixed in with this as well. Leafy, as Luxim calls it, is still in its adolescent stages, so they're still designing it. At the 2008 Light and Building Trade Fair in Frankfurt, Germany, Luxim marketed their plasma technology. So it's a plasma technology, which is what we're working with, a plasma formula, right? As fit for stage lighting, pavilion lighting, parking garages, sporting events, and everywhere else you need really big lights. Most notably, though, Luxim saw their plasma bulbs as being an ideal fit for hybridized light pipe systems. In this application, they claimed 30,000 hours of lifespan and 120 lumens per watt. Edison only managed 15. So maybe by mixing it with the formulas, we can expand the hours of these plasma bulbs as well. That'd be cool, eh? So that's venturebeat.com. That's where I found it. And it's about super efficient lighting technologies to provide energy saving ideas outdoors and in. So here's another one, 6A44.1, total internal reflection in water. This is one of the tubes you're going to be using in with the UFO spaceship. So a beam of light shines onto a mirror in an aquarium. The mirror reflects the beam toward the surface, and the angle of the mirror can be adjusted gradually so that one sees refraction. Refraction and partial reflection, critical angle, and total internal reflection. So you would use that with the vapor invention that you're going to use for the deep space communication. You want to use this type of technology with it. As the angle of the beam approaches the critical angles, one also sees dispersion as the refracted beam spreads into a spectrum on the screen. Setup time 20 minutes, current condition good. 6A44.2 light pipe fiber optic cables. These must be test results. I don't even know what they are. So a laser shines into a long curled light pipe and emerges at the other end. Stranded fiber optic cable is also available. Dipping a solid fiber into baby oil will release the beam. Now, interesting, you guys, Janet Conrad used baby oil and mineral oil with the neutrinos sparkles to make them sparkle, and then she collided them. So wonder if you can put your neutrinos into this thing here and see the smaller ones by doing that. Setup time 5 minutes, current conditions good. Here's some of the graphs that came up. Okay, 64A44 bucket of light. Okay, so we want to create some sort of visible light that can be used with an X-ray and microwave laser pencil beam in the UFO spaceship engine. Okay, so quote from blog, a laser beam follows the arc of a stream of water. So we are using water and we're using laser beams. So we should be able to use this type of technology. And it is not released until it reaches the collection bucket. So if you don't release it, you can just keep recycling it and using the energy from it. Setup time is 15 minutes. Current conditions good. 60 thin lens. 6A60.1 optics blackboard. A large magnetic board with a fixed source. There was no picture with it. A large magnetic board with a fixed source of parallel light rays can be used to demonstrate geometric optics. Components include flat mirrors, curved mirrors, thin lenses, thick lenses, transparent rectangular solids, and a prism. So this is something you want to use as well. Then we have the 6H30.80 Faraday effect. Polarized light laser light passes through a solenoid filled with toluene. I don't know what that is. When the solenoid is turned on, the polarization of the outgoing beam is rotated proportionally to the strength of the magnetic field, and blah blah blah. That time. So that's from Columbia Education. It's from the Columbia University Physics Department. My thoughts. Visible light, blue shift Doppler light, laser beams of crystals, piezoelectricity, nanotubes, lattice crystal structures in middle of core, pencil laser beams diffracted to hit all fiber optic cable ends sitting on the outside of round core. Actually, not called cable ends, they're called cable, fiber optic cable and ends, and they're called nanowires, which I just figured out recently. Okay, so I didn't know what they were called before. Sorry. A vacuum of power in this round shape mixed with superalloys to have them generate power from one line of wire to another. A current. Monopole magnets, atomic fusion idea here, create a domino effect in the laser signal around the core, having atomic fusion on the outside of it and inside the rotating shell of the UFO spaceship. The keyword piezoelectricity, and I added hematite to it because hematite is magnetic, and we're using a magnetic force for the power of the ship. So I looked up hematite crystal to see if it existed. The keyword came from www.articlesbase.com, and I found a hematite crystal skull. So if you want to decorate your ship with crystal skulls, maybe they'll talk to you too. They do. The other crystal, the clear quartz crystal skulls, seem to be able to communicate maps and stuff for charts and for travel. Like in the alien times, they used them. So who knows? January 7th. More keywords being filmed in the next video. Thanks for watching.